Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the show. Hope everyone is well this morning and finds their way to the live stream before too long. I'll talk to you guys. I'm talking quiet because my daughter is sleeping in the next room and I don't want to wake her up. Dustin, I can always count on you, brother. So, good morning to you. And if you guys have questions for the live stream, please put them in the comments section and we will get to them before the end of the show. It's a bit of a special show. I've recorded a whole bunch of clips. To start with, I think I want to, before everyone gets here, because I want to talk about 3 benchmarks for arm wrestling that are important, and 3 that you can continue to improve that will increase your arm wrestling strength on the table. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Viking Press that I had made from Arm Assassin Strength Shop. Now, I know that I'm a sponsored athlete by Israel, but Lucas Raymond does some amazing stuff. He sponsors over on Crossfire, but this piece of equipment for shoulder training is something that I've been looking for a long time, and you can't just find, Kenny, good morning, you can't just find some pieces that you need sometimes, and you have to get them custom made. So I will put this in the window next to me, and we'll talk through it a little bit, and here we go. It is in the stream, but it is not showing in the stream. And now I'm showing stuff I don't want to show yet. So let's try to re-add this, and we'll see if we can get it to work. There we go.
Let's quickly review this awesome Viking Press handle that was made for me by Arm Assassin Strength Shop. As you can see, they also made a pin that goes across my cage to hold the other end of the Olympic bar that this sits on. This thing fits perfectly. Took a few measurements, got it for Lucas. He made it up.
So I'll talk you guys through it. Basically, it's a fulcrum that he made. The plates go on one end, and you have yourself a Viking press. Now, this one was actually custom made precisely to my measurements that I wanted it, and it's an amazing thing, and I love it. And I recommend, if you guys need any custom work, head over to Arm Assassin Strength Shop, and you can get your stuff there. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is basically 3 benchmarks for arm wrestling. And I was thinking to myself, like, I get a ton of training questions. I get a ton of requests for people that are, good morning, Brandon. We get a ton of requests from people that are looking for training advice, wanting me to train them online. I actually contemplated doing that for a while. I don't believe that I can actually do that effectively in when it grows to a larger scale. So it's either a couple of people or nobody. And I think I have a lot of training knowledge locked up here in this brain, but I have massively different styles from a lot of people, but it is a proven method because I have turned people from new arm wrestlers into all the way up to national champions. So I want to talk to you about, and if you analyze all the videos that are coming out from all the different sources, whether it's Bowen's channel, whether it's Devin Larratt, all these guys that are doing certain things, it can get confusing and it can be a lot. So I'm going to show you 3 videos, 3 different benchmark movements for arm wrestling that will assist you with your training. And if you continue to improve these 3, although I'll talk a little bit about them individually because you have to be pretty careful with some of them, you will continue to grow. And those 3 things are side pressure, back pressure, and cupping. Now, if I needed to throw a 4th in there, the 4th would be some sort of rotation. And this is generic overall things. So I'm going to put the video in here, and I'm not doing insane amounts of weight. And I'm actually showing you an old, well, from about a week ago that I had already posted of side pressure. And I want to tell you guys that when I'm doing these now, I've changed it up again, and I'm back to a 2-week system where I am doing maximal lifts 1 week, and then I have a week of lighter training that will also include, well, it'll be that a maximal week with practice, and a week of lighter training that's meant for blood flow recovery and tendon strength. So everything will be in the 20 rep range versus the maximal day, which is basically as much weight as you can move. And if you're doing side pressure, be careful. Now, a little bit of self-criticism on the side pressure, and I'll tell you that as we go through it. So this very short clip, and I've edited these all down to be a little more user-friendly, or viewer-friendly, I should say, for those of you that are watching. So I'm going to kill the sound on this one because we don't need it. And if I were to criticize myself, now I stopped the video because you can see the Krasi pulley, which is one of my preferred training pieces of equipment. It is directly attached to this table. But because the Krasi pulley is static, meaning you can't, the length of the cable doesn't change as you go up and down the stack, sometimes you're too close to the pulley. So if I'm doing side pressure with directly from the side, I change the angle of my body. And the one criticism I have for myself is that this could be a little bit too much press versus straight side pressure. Anyway, let's give it a watch, the rest of them. And that's only about 100 pounds on there, but I mean, it's a true 100 pounds. Actually, that's not bad. The camera gives you a funny angle on that one. I'll leave it up there, so I'll leave it in my videos down here if you guys have any questions or want me to go back over it. So there it is. Now, when I'm doing a side pressure, a few sets of those, I'll be probably 5 sets total at the start of the workout for that day. I'm going to warm up, and then I'm going to build to that maximal, because if you're not really warm, you're going to beat the shit out of your inner elbow, and that's just, you don't want to get yourself injured. So make sure you're warm, make sure you build up to it. Now, the next one that we're going to talk about is back pressure. Now, this is another one where I've seen guys do tests with this. I've seen Bowen do this. Coach Ray does this. And well, here's me doing this. And I think this is the set. Oh, no. Doesn't want to play for me. There we go. I got 120 pounds on there.
Now we're sitting at.
There we go. And you don't need to hear me talk about it there because I'm talking about it here. But about 120 pounds, very basic movement, just pulling back, keeping your arm from straightening out, and you want that cable to be basically parallel to the floor, so it's a direct line of pull. I only do it with the left arm because I remember actually tweaking my right arm just a little bit when I was doing that. So that's benchmark number 2. Benchmark number 3 is the one that we've seen Devin do a whole bunch of times, and it's cupping. So this is a very short video, just 100 pounds. And over the next weeks, I mean, I'll keep posting videos where I'm testing this out. Now, the cupping tool I'm using here is just a piece of dowel with a strap. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I am waiting for my new cupping tool from Israel Arm Wrestling Club to be delivered, so that I can start using it instead of this one. And I can't wait to get that piece of equipment. So when it gets here, I'm actually expecting a huge package full of stuff that is an arm wrestling table from Israel and a whole bunch of handles. So when that gets here, we'll unpack it. We'll do reviews. Now, speaking of Israel Arm Wrestling Club, you guys probably remember the challenge that we did. And the challenge that we did was the one-handed deadlift hold. So if you go into my YouTube channel, I have actually posted the video and the rules for challenge number 2, but don't do that right now because I'm going to show you the edited for this video version, and we'll play it right here. We're going to use the eccentric finger force handle, which you guys have probably seen on many different websites. There's a ton of different versions of this handle, but here's the video.
Hey guys, Ryan here, and it is challenge time again. This time we're going to be using the eccentric finger force handle, and we're going to use about 50 pounds. So I have a 45-pound plate loaded onto my loading pin, which is approximately, with everything on here, 50 pounds or a little better than 50 pounds. So rule number 1, 50 pounds. Rule number 2, eccentric finger force handle. Now, we're going to allow other handles from other companies to be used, but now that they've come up with sizes, we're asking you to use the 2 3/4 one for the challenge. So as you're about to see, this is the only one I have. I show a measurement on this right now. Hey guys, as you can see, the measurement of this one is 2 3/4 at the biggest point. 2 3/4 inches. All right, so showing you taking your grip, guys, and there's not many ways that you can cheat on this. You basically place your thumb right here against this little thumb stop. Wrap your hand as far around as you want and lift it for time. So I will set the benchmark and I will wait as usual for everyone to show up and beat me. And I'm not using chalk, but you can use chalk, but no spray sticky stuff. Now this one will be a true test of wrist strength. And you can pick either arm that you want for the purpose of this challenge. Yeah. 30 seconds on the nose. So as you can see, guys, it's not the easiest thing to do. We're using less weight than the previous deadlift challenge.
All right, so there you have it. Israel Challenge 2. I'm sure Israel's going to share that around, something for you guys to try out if you have the equipment. The Israel Challenge 1 is pretty popular because you have the option of using any spinning or any revolving handle. But this one requires a specialized piece of equipment that you may or may not have. So good luck with that, guys. And now we've talked about the 3 things I wanted to talk about were the benchmarks for arm wrestling. We talked about the new challenge. I reviewed the Viking Press handle, and I'm open to any questions you guys have right now. Russ, good for you, man. Got the handle yesterday, he says. So if you guys have any training questions or any questions in general, fire them at me. Let's stay on here for maybe 5-10 more minutes, and we'll do as many as we can. And if the questions keep piling in, maybe we'll stay a little longer. But let's see what's up, because eventually I'm going to start getting text messages from and getting on with my day here. It's been busy as hell. But some news coming out, and we're going to, well, first of all, let's talk about, I was on Uncle John After Dark this week. So if you haven't checked out Uncle John's show, Uncle John Arm Wrestling channel, head over there, check that out. We had a good time talking about stuff on the After Dark show that was live tomorrow morning on Arm Crossfire, 9 a.m. Central. Gobby and I will be joined by Jamie Sheldon, and we have a great lineup of guests coming up over the next little bit. And tomorrow is going to be amazing. Jamie's a great guy. I can't wait to hear what he's up to. We will talk a little bit about the announcements. PAL, World Arm Wrestling League, Swedish Arm Wrestling Television. How's the training going? The training's going amazing, and I feel very, very strong. I'm looking forward a lot to when we start to be able to compete again. Saturday night, hosting or watching fights all day long. UFC's finally back on. It's going to be a day of fights. Hopefully nothing happens between now and then that they get canceled again. And Dustin says, you and John have been doing a good job answering mine recently. Yeah, I guess if you got so much arm wrestling content and so many live shows and you get your questions answered, there's not that much left. Okay, Swedish Arm Wrestling Television. Do you think great endurance is required in both super matches and arm wrestling tournaments? It's for a video I'm doing. So I think that what you're alluding to is probably Neil's show, where there was a great debate where Travis and Engen were on one side and Michael and Devin were on another. And the debate was, what requires more endurance? And I don't think that there was a clear winner of that debate. And I see both sides of it. If you are pulling one specific style of arm wrestling, you need endurance against that one specific style of arm wrestling. But you only need to be greater than your one opponent. If you're pulling in a tournament, you need to be really have good endurance in multiple styles. And the fact is, if you have a long match, you could then go up against someone that is relatively fresh. I think that I'm going to go on the side of, well, yes, endurance is required. If you've got one barrel to shoot and or one bullet to shoot, it's going to be a long day. I know of arm wrestlers who their downfall is multiple matches. So as you progress through a tournament, you're going to run into fresh guy after fresh guy. If you're lucky, you get a tired one. But I think that they're important in both. They're very important in both. More so in tournaments, if that makes any sense at all. Dustin says, did you have an announcement today? Unfortunately, Dustin, I do not have an announcement today. I stay in communication with all the big promoters, including the World Arm Wrestling League, but they have no news other than building towards the 601 card. And I know about as much about that as everybody does, that we know what the card is. We just don't know if it's going to happen on the same date as they've picked based on the pandemic. And then the rest of the season is also booked as far as the events go, but I don't think any matches are confirmed. I would love to go to Nemiroff this year, head over to Poland and pull in that tournament. I've never done it, and I think it's time that I probably made an appearance there. Well, guys, I'm looking last call in the feed before I sign off of here. Hey, Dustin, don't worry about it, man. There's going to be lots of other announcements coming, just not today. All right, you guys, we're sitting at 20 minutes. Short and sweet. And hey, Swedish Arm Wrestling TV, send me a message on Facebook. You should join me on one of these shows. And I'll see you guys next week, man. Don't forget to tune in to Arm Crossfire tomorrow, 9 a.m. Signing out, you guys. Thanks for watching.